going to endorse a really wonderful person, a different candidate. She went to New York and stood in front of the magnificent Trump Tower. Has anyone ever heard of Trump Tower? And did a commercial insinuating that I was endorsing her. She's standing over in front of Trump Tower in New York. I'm saying, can you believe this?
Oh, I love to see it. That's Donald Trump dunking on Nancy Mace, who is running for South Carolina's 1st congressional district. He is salty about the fact that she pushed back against him just a little bit. He doesn't like that. He doesn't like that. And so what is he referring to in that video? Well, he's referring to a campaign video that Mace put out, making it seem as though Trump is supportive of her. Let's watch that video. I'll give you the updates.
Hey everyone, Congresswoman Nancy Mace here. I'm in front of Trump Tower today, and I remember in 2015 when President Trump announced his run. I was one of his earliest supporters. I actually worked for the campaign in 2016. I worked in 7 different states across the country to help get him elected. I supported him again in 2020 because of policies I believed in. He brought American jobs back. He lowered our taxes, wages, and employment were better for every hardworking American in our country. He made America safer, and he took on China directly. And America was stronger all around the world. And quite frankly, freedom and democracy was stronger all around the world. If you want to lose this seat once again in midterm election cycle to Democrats, then my opponent is more than qualified to do just that.
Now, the opponent that she's referring to is Katie Arrington, who happens to be the person that Trump is endorsing. Why is Trump endorsing her primary challenger? Well, Mace told CNN the day after the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol that his entire legacy was wiped out yesterday. Ooh, he didn't like that.
He don't like it.
He don't like it. While she voted against impeaching the former president, she did vote to hold former Trump administration advisor Steve Bannon in contempt of Congress.
Wow.
She's a baddie.
Oh, she's such a rebel. She's
such
like,
a rebel.
Yeah. Of course, Trump, who wiped away his entire reputation. It was just disaster. Oh, of course, not guilty. Not guilty. Move along. Move along. By Steve Bannon. Oh, in contempt. Ooh, tiny little tweak. And of course, that was enough for Trump, right? How dare you oppose me? I will annihilate you.
Do you guys understand that this story is perfect? It is a masterpiece of a story. Because I love nothing more than to watch spineless, pathetic Trump enablers get a dose of their own medicine, get a dose of what Trump has given to all sorts of people across this country. Like, you enable his garbage, you enable his undemocratic attempts at election stealing, and then, I mean, you refuse to impeach him. So yeah. Good. I don't know if her primary challenger is gonna win. I don't care. She deserves what she got at that Trump rally.
Yeah.
This is what you get.
No, look, we've said this many times. The one upside of Trump is how he has humiliated all other Republican politicians. So Nancy Mace is like, I am standing up to him. I will hold Steve Bannon in slight contempt. And then she's like, oh, that didn't play well. And then she goes, this is Trump Tower behind me. Okay, and then Trump comes in and politically slaps her down anyway. Did you think you were going to curry favor? No.
Well, I mean, look, what she wanted to do there was make it appear as though she did kind of like make it seem like he endorses her, that he supports her.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
No, sorry. Look, Republicans should know by now that you can never cross Trump without consequences. He is an egotistical, thin-skinned, pathetic lunatic. That's who Trump is. So they think they can. Look, the thing that amazes me is all these Republican politicians think they're so brilliant. They think they're so smart. They think that they could somehow bypass the reality of who Trump is. They think that they can, for lack of it's true. They think they can outsmart Trump, and Trump ain't that smart. But they're even dumber.
Yeah.
So they're like, no, I can enable him, I can encourage him, I could take advantage of being close to him for political purposes. And then if I want to push back, I'm artful enough to make that happen without any backlash from Trump and his goons. No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, and going along and making that compliment of Trump, if you will, an ironic one, but it's true, like putting more meat on those bones. He is exposing fake politicians.
Totally.
I mean, they're super fake. I hate Trump, I love Trump, who's my audience? What do I care? So he exposes all of them like Nancy Mace. And it's amazing to me that these cheesy politicians still think they can get away with it, right? You're on video everywhere you go. And they're still lying based on the audience that they're in front of. Like the old days. They got taught a certain thing. Oh, you just lie to them, and then it doesn't matter what you can say the exact opposite things. And that's what their cheesy consultants tell them. But by the way, both on the Republican and Democratic side. And now Trump doesn't let him get away with it. So look, Nancy Mace and Republicans, I shouldn't give you advice, but what Republican voters like, and honestly what all voters like, is strength.
Yeah, have a spine.
Yeah, if you oppose Donald Trump and said this isn't right, stick with it and have the courage of your convictions. But if you're out there going like, I kind of like Trump, I kind of hate Trump, I don't know, hey, vote for me, right? Nobody's interested in that. And certainly not Republican voters. At the end of the day, she might win anyway because the corporate politicians have way more money. And not enough people might know that Donald Trump is opposed to her. But the more she talks, the more he talks, the more people know, oh, Donald Trump doesn't like Nancy Mace. So it's actually wildly counterproductive. She should have just shut up in the first place.
100%. By the way, I mean, Trump endorsing you is not the end all be all, right? Trump has endorsed all sorts of Republican candidates, including primary challengers that went nowhere. So, I mean, she could have, I don't know, like had a little bit of pride and not put that video out there, but she couldn't help herself.
Because she's a greasy politician. That's why people hate politicians, unless they live in Washington and they're national reporters and they love politicians.
Oh, they love grease.
Yeah, and they think,
enough.
oh, you guys calling politicians liars, you guys are radicals. Are you serious? And yeah, that's our national media, they're a joke. And that's why it was open field for a populist like Trump, or he's a fake populist, but at least someone pretending to be a populist, to actually get super popular because people are sick of people like Nancy Mace on both sides.